Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video. I'm going to be talking about a newly shown Hot Toys figure, and this time it is from the Dark Knight, and it is Two-Face. This figure was shown as an exclusive for an upcoming event, which I believe is San Diego Comic-Con. It does say Toy Fair on the photos, but I believe it is actually for Comic-Con, if I'm not mistaken. But this is quite exciting and definitely very surprising. If I, somebody told me that they were going to do an updated Dark Knight figure, I would probably my first thing would have been another updated Joker, and then if that wasn't the case, I would guess Bane, or even just a Ra's al Ghul figure finally, before I came to the conclusion that it was Two-Face. So I am, again, very surprised to see this figure being made, but not upset by any means. I'm definitely a huge Dark Knight fan. The Dark Knight trilogy, I absolutely love it personally, and The Dark Knight itself is my favorite movie of all times. So I'm definitely not complaining for getting another Two-Face figure. I'm quite excited by it. But yeah, so let's get into it. I do have the first version, so I have it in person. I know kind of the sculpt of the first version and how it kind of fares to this one. And this is definitely very much updated. It's not just a repainted head or anything like that. It's 100% a new head. I did take a close comparison between the two heads, and it's you notice that they put the burn marks in slightly different places. Overall, the structure of the face is very similar, but the detail is super heightened in this version as compared to the first one. The first one is definitely part of the earlier days for Hot Toys, and obviously it was made so long ago. It wasn't a bad head sculpt at the time by any means. It's pretty detailed actually, but for just how far they've come in their design process has really updated, and therefore the figure that they're now able to present is a lot more accurate and better detailed than the original. So it is a huge upgrade in that sense, which is quite nice. Even the suit is updated as well, and the tie pattern is actually quite a bit different from their last one, but if you look it up, it's actually much more accurate, so that's cool as well. Also, the original one, probably my least favorite thing about the original figure is the tie. Just they didn't know how to make good ties back then, so it's just too bulky up top. It doesn't look very natural. So they of course have perfected their tie structure, so it's a lot better for that little small detail. It definitely is definitely better. But yeah, overall, I think the face sculpt's really nice. My only issue is that his Harvey Dent side is very just plain. He doesn't look quite angry. He doesn't look like he's smirking. It's almost like just a plain. He's listening to somebody speak. It doesn't even look like he's got any thought process going on that other side. No, the Two-Face, angry side is full of emotion, obviously, because it's kind of forced emotion. But it looks really cool. So I would have liked to see that reflected a bit on the other side, just a little bit more anger, and not just so plain, because it's really plain. I would have liked a bit of anger there, just cock the eyebrow a bit more, and put some more wrinkles around the side of his mouth to make it look like he's like biting down or something. I think that would have really helped, because overall it's a great sculpt, but just not loving the expression on the Harvey Dent side. As far as what he comes with, you do get less with this one. Oh, here, before I talk about that, here's a quick comparison of the production or the promotional images of this new one compared to the promotional image of the old one. As you can see, it's night and day. It really is. It's surprising like how different it is. But as you can see, it's a totally different figure. I think that the Harvey Dent side on the old version isn't terrible, to be honest. It's certainly updated here, but again, I think that the Harvey Dent side on the original version had a little bit more anger than this new one has, which is definitely a shame. But just the detail on the Harvey Dent side is definitely a lot better now, and then of course on the Two-Face side, it's beyond better. It's a lot more nuanced. There's a lot of smaller detail happening, which just looks great, and there's just some more accuracy put into it, as well as if you actually look at the jacket, there's more accurate pieces with that. The original one, the jacket was burnt very much just from kind of the top section. However, this new one does have some burn marks on the bottom of it, which is nice because I was never a fan of the fact that it was like very clean at the bottom. But this new one does have some burn marks, which is really cool. Now, one thing that is inaccurate with this new figure, and that's less accurate than the original one, is the gun. The gun is actually quite a bit inaccurate. It is a revolver, just like the old one, but it's not the same styled revolver. It has a barrel that's much longer than the other one, and it's not accurate, and it's kind of annoying because if they just repacked the original Two-Face's gun with this figure, it would have been more accurate. So I don't really understand what the need was to update it in a less accurate manner, but that's a shame. And it's, with sometimes when that happens, you can kind of blame it on maybe concept art that they had that wasn't quite accurate. But this movie is 11 years old at this point, so that's obviously not the case. So I have no idea why they would make the gun inaccurate. But as far as his accessories, just what he comes with when comparing it to what the last one came with, you do get less with this guy overall, just with the amount of accessories. He has a revolver, which the last one had as well. He has, I believe, an Harvey Dent button and a coin. The last one came with 2 coins. One was a regular coin, and then the other one was a burnt coin, because the last version of this figure allowed you to put him as the Two-Face, or as Harvey Dent, whichever one you saw fit, because you actually did get 2 head sculpts with the last one. You got just a Harvey Dent head sculpt and a Two-Face head sculpt, as well as you got 2 jackets. You got a burnt jacket and a clean jacket. Unfortunately, that is not the case with this one. It is only Two-Face, which, I mean, if they never made the old one, I'd be okay with it because it just makes sense. I mean, who would actually display him as Harvey Dent rather than Two-Face? But considering they've already done it, the having given you the option of choosing, it just feels a little bit cheap not to do that again. It's almost like downgrading because of that. So it's a little disappointing. I would have liked a secondary head sculpt. If it would have raised the price a bunch, it wouldn't have been worth it. But just overall, it feels a little weird to have the old one come with a more extensive accessory set than this one. But he does have a set of hands, and he comes with 1 extra hand than the last one came with. He comes with a new standard base, which is more of the almost rectangle shaped type of base rather than the original oval style one, which was standard at the time. And then he comes with a little shot glass, which I think is really cool. I do like the scene in the movie when he drinks a shot and he kind of like spills out a bit. I mean, that would have burnt like nobody's business, but it was just kind of neat, and the way that he kind of wiped his chin as it started to come out again, I think that that's interesting, at least. So I do like the fact that he comes with a drink, and it's something kind of unique. I can't really think of any other figure that comes with a drink other than like Jack Sparrow, but he comes with like a big bottle of rum. So having a little like glass is kind of neat, and you can probably use it for some other figures too, which is cool. But yeah, overall, I really like the look of this figure. I think it's fantastic. Again, I'm a huge Dark Knight fan, so this does excite me. Now, as somebody who's trying to be more picky when it comes to Hot Toys figures, and not just buying every version of the character that comes out or anything like that, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to get this one. It's really going to probably come down to the price. To be honest, I'm trying to sell my old Two-Face, like now, ever since this figure was shown, like an hour ago. So if I can sell it, I will absolutely buy it. But I'm having a feeling that I'll probably have trouble selling it, considering I'm sure a lot of people are going to be doing the same thing I am. So yeah, if I can't sell my original one, and if I have the original one and I'm like, do I buy this one on top of the original one, I'm not sure what I'd do, because then I wouldn't know where to put the original one, because he would look odd in the collection, having just kind of Two-Faces figures. It would just be weird. So I'm not 100% sure what I would do, but I absolutely want this update because it's such a big improvement just from the sculpt, and the sculpt itself does look really cool. And it's such an intricate sculpt, or an intricate character face, that it makes me really want to get the Hot Toys figure just because of how much detail is in there. But yeah, overall, I'm hoping that this price will be reasonable. Now, with Toy Fair exclusives, sometimes they up the price just because it's an exclusive. I hope that's not the case with this one. I would like to see this guy at like 220, but I have a feeling this could be up to 250. I'm hoping that it's not, though. He doesn't come with much at all. He's very minimalistic when it comes to his accessories, so that's the only saving grace as to hoping that this price will stay low. But yeah, there you go. That's my thoughts on this new Hot Toys figure that was shown for a Toy Fair exclusive, which I believe is San Diego Comic-Con, and it is the 1/6 scale Two-Face from The Dark Knight. I definitely like to hear what you guys think of it. As far as the other figures that have come out from Hot Toys for this new event as the exclusives, there's the kind of nanotech Iron Man, which I think is just really lazy and stupid. I'm not a fan of it. Then there's the Scarlet Spider, which is from the video game, which is a nice figure, but it's from the video game, so I don't really have much of a care for it. And then the other figure that was shown along with Two-Face tonight was a Stan Lee figure from his cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which I think is very clever. It's a really unique looking figure. I will be making a video talking about that one. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this Two-Face figure, and thanks so much for watching.